It was a quiet April evening in Flint, Michigan, when the silence was violently shattered. The clock had just struck 10 p.m. when two figures appeared on the security footage of a modest suburban home. One man was wearing a striking red jacket, while his companion lurked in the shadows, both seemingly intent on carrying out a sinister purpose. The footage shows the man in the red jacket advancing aggressively toward the front door. Without hesitation, he began to pound his shoulder against the door with strong, forceful blows. His violent actions caused the doorbell camera to shake violently before it fell to the ground, its view distorted and partially obscured. Despite the constant pounding, the door remained firmly shut. Frustrated but undeterred, the man moved to the side door of the house. His desperation was evident as he once again began attacking the door with the same ferocious fervor. The sound of the hammer breaking the door echoed ominously in the night, each thud a reminder of the intrusion in progress. Inside the house, the homeowners were suddenly awakened by the sound of the attack. Hearts pounding, they rushed out of bed and checked the security feed, only to find the doorbell camera lying on the ground, the feed interrupted, switching to another camera. They were horrified to see the full extent of the break-in. Realizing that their home was under attack, the homeowners quickly turned on the speaker to alert the intruders. The sound of their voices coming from the speaker was enough to scare the thieves away. The thieves were startled and panicked, fleeing the scene, disappearing into the darkness. When the police arrived, they reviewed the footage and noticed that one of the men was armed. Their exact motives, however, remain a mystery. The attempted break-in left the homeowners shaken, their sense of security shattered by their close encounter with potential danger. The events of that night left an indelible mark on their memories, a stark reminder of the fragility of security. The night of April 9, 2023 was supposed to be a peaceful night in Albuquerque, New Mexico. As the homeowners slept, a sense of peace pervaded the home. However, this peace was suddenly shattered by the appearance of an unexpected visitor on the doorbell camera. At around 3 a.m., the footage showed a woman with disheveled hair trying out various keys on the front door. Her actions were erratic, her movements marked by a frantic energy that suggested she was either drunk or in a state of extreme distress. She fumbled with the keys, inserting them into the lock with increasing frustration, but the door remained unaffected by her efforts. The woman's behavior became even more bizarre as she began interacting with the doorbell camera itself. She had inserted her key into the device, her attempts to tamper with it adding another layer of intrusion to the already disturbing scene. Her erratic movements were punctuated by moments of looking around, as if searching for something invisible. Her frustration quickly turned to vandalism. The footage shows her throwing rocks at the homeowner's car, her anger evident in her violent gestures. Despite causing damage, she made no attempt to enter the home. After several tense minutes, She eventually wandered off, disappearing into the night. The homeowner, upon waking up and reviewing the footage, was horrified by the intrusion. The sight of a stranger attempting to break into their home, along with the damage to their car, left them deeply disturbed. The motive behind the woman's actions remains unclear, and she was never seen again at the property. The incident is a chilling reminder of the unpredictability of human behavior and the fragility of the home. In January 2022, Daytona Beach, Florida, was the scene of a terrifying encounter that left Walter Hickox shaken to his core. The night was peaceful as Walter took his 3 dogs out onto the porch for their evening routine. The serenity of the wooded area surrounding his home was suddenly shattered by a terrifying. Walter's attention turned to his dogs, who were staring intently at something in the darkness. As he followed their gaze, he was met with a terrifying sight: a large black bear emerging from the woods. The bear, drawn by the scent of something familiar, or perhaps driven by hunger, climbed over the guardrail, advanced menacingly toward the dogs. In a split-second decision fueled by love and desperation, Walter lunged at the bear. The encounter was violent and fraught with danger. Walter's adrenaline-fueled strength allowed him to push the bear away from his pets. With no time to lose, he quickly grabbed a nearby chair and wedged it into the doorway, creating a makeshift barrier to prevent the bear from returning. The encounter was brief but intense. Walter managed to get his dogs inside, ensuring their safety, but the emotional impact of this close call was profound. The fear of what might happen if the bear overtook him weighed heavily on him. As he sat there, the reality of how they had narrowly escaped tragedy hit him hard. The minor injuries he had sustained were overshadowed by the emotional pain of the night's events. His dogs, miraculously unharmed, were a testament to his courage in the face of danger. Early in the morning, around 20 a.m., a Texas homeowner experienced a disturbing incident that began with a routine delivery. The homeowner, who had not placed a DoorDash order, was confused by a late-night knock on her door. As she lay in bed, she heard a slight metallic clank, but she assumed it was a delivery. The next morning, however, she encountered disturbing evidence of a darker plot. Damage to the exterior of the home prompted her to review footage from her doorbell and backyard cameras. What she discovered was chilling. The doorbell camera showed a woman at the front door, claiming to be a DoorDash driver. Her constant knocking and pleading seemed out of place, but the homeowner initially thought it was a simple mistake. The true horror was revealed in footage from the backyard camera. At approximately 2 a.m., 4 men were seen entering the backyard, attempting to break into the home through a window. The presence of the woman at the front door was a distraction, a calculated move to distract the homeowner while her accomplices attempted to break in through the back door. Their plan was to use the fake delivery as cover for their darker intention. When the attempt to break in through the window failed, they fled the scene, leaving behind a dark-colored car as their getaway vehicle. The realization of how close the homeowner had come to a dangerous break-in was terrifying. The coordinated effort to ambush and break in left her deeply uneasy. The police investigation failed to arrest the suspects, and the fear of being targeted in such a calculated plan lingered long after the incident. In the summer of 2019, quiet Chicago neighborhoods were disrupted by a masked man who carried out a cold and deceptive plot. Posing as a police detective, he was equipped with a fake uniform, badge, and radio, all part of an elaborate hoax designed to manipulate unsuspecting homeowners. The man's visits began with knocking on multiple doors, his claims of investigating a missing persons case appearing genuine at first glance. He played his part with unsettling authenticity, even going so far as to fake radio calls and put on a convincing show. His goal was not only to deceive, but to gain entry to homes under the guise of official business. One homeowner, upon meeting the imposter, was approached with a story about a missing person. Despite the man's authoritative demeanor, the homeowner's suspicions led to a refusal to answer further questions. The man's pretense was exposed, but his intentions remained unclear. In another case, the man's persistence was caught on camera, but the homeowner did not open the door. The man continued his actions, reporting the homeowner's unresponsiveness over his fake radio, adding to the unease of his deception. The imposter's motives remain open to interpretation. Some have speculated that he was probing the situation for a more serious crime, perhaps planning to escalate his activities from fraud to actual robbery or worse. The uncertainty surrounding his intentions left residents feeling vulnerable and insecure, their trust in the authorities undermined by a man who had exploited it for his own unknown purposes. The imposter is still unknown. His ultimate goal remains a mystery, leaving a trail of fear and doubt in the community he is targeting. In Kansas City, Missouri, a chilling episode unfolded one summer night that left a lasting scar on a family's sense of security. The evening began like any other for a mother and her young son. However, their peaceful night was about to be shattered by a disturbing intrusion. The doorbell camera captured the unsettling events shortly after dark. A man, his presence marked by a pervasive sense of dread, appeared on screen. He emerged from the shadows, moving stealthily along the side of the house. His appearance was unnerving as he seemed to be hiding from view, trying to stay out of the camera's line of sight. Clutching a stick or some heavy object, he crouched behind a parked car. his breath visible in the cool air. As the man waited in the darkness, he glanced nervously between the front door of the house and the street, his anxiety evident in his movements. It was clear that he was up to something sinister, but his exact plan remained unclear. The man seemed to be waiting for an opportunity to break in or avoid detection by others. When it became clear that no one was answering the door, the man's frustration grew. He eventually gave up trying to enter the house and disappeared into the night. However, his departure was only the beginning of the night's terror. Minutes after the man left, a sudden and frantic cry came from the homeowner's son, who ran into his mother's room, gasping and terrified. Their car, parked outside, was engulfed in flames, and the fire spread rapidly. The mother, already shaken by the events, rushed outside to find their car ablaze. The fire quickly spread, destroying not only the car, but also severely damaging the house. The trauma of that night left the family grappling with a terrifying possibility. Was the fire the result of the man's dark intentions? Was it a deliberate act of sabotage, or just a horrible coincidence? The unsettling events and timing of the fires suggested a possible connection. As police investigated, the man's identity and motive remained a mystery. The family was left to pick up the pieces of their shattered lives, their home scarred by the fire and their sense of security severely damaged. If you find these horror stories thrilling, please like the video and subscribe to our channel for more creepy stories. Your support is important in helping us create and share more horror content that will haunt your dreams. By subscribing, you will be joining the community of horror lovers and ensure you never miss our latest videos. Don't forget to click the notification bell to be notified of our next video.